What's up, guys? This is Return to Tennis. I'm Aaron. Thanks for returning. Welcome to all my new recent subscribers. There's been a few more. Hey, I hope you enjoy the content, guys. Thanks for tuning in. So, I've been thinking about it, and I've come to the conclusion maybe I was a little hard on Babolat as a brand, right? So when I first came back, the first racket I picked up was a Babolat Pure Drive that I absolutely hated. Too much power, not nearly enough control. I really just was really put off by that racket, which ended up with me being kind of put off by the brand in general. Now later I did test a older model Pure Strike alongside a bunch of other 98s that I have, a 2016 model. And it wasn't bad. I mean, it hit pretty good. I was kind of surprised by how well I hit it. And that kind of got me thinking that maybe I've been a little presumptuous in my opinions on the Babolat rackets. A lot of guys play with the Babolat rackets. Over at the YouTube channel 410S, he refers to the Pure Drive as the Pure Dad, because of how many older players use it, which I always thought that was kind of funny, because then I noticed that the club that a lot of guys in my age group play with a Pure Drive. So now I call it the Pure Dad as well. Thank you for that joke. It always makes me smile when I'm at drills. But so I got a little curious. Maybe I should try some other Babolat rackets. So, not going out and spending tons of money, I went and I kind of hunted down some older model Babolats that I thought I would give a go. I am really curious about the Pure Aero because of its throat box, but I wasn't going to spend big money. So I went out and I came across not a Pure Aero, a Aero Pro Drive. It looked like it was about a 2007 model, and it was in mint condition. It has not been scratched up. It's really good. And it's been modified. I don't know who had it before me, but they must have added a ton of weight in the handle. This thing, I stripped about 6 or 8 grams of lead off the hoop, and it still weighs 332 grams, somewhere in that range, which tells me there's a lot of weight in that handle. I think they silicone injected it, because I opened it up and I can't see anything. But I've got it, and we're going to hit it today. We're going to hit the Pure Strike again today. And I've got one more. I went out and I found it, picked it up at a Playing in Sports, a Pure Storm Tour model. So this is a heavier frame as well. It's my understanding that the Pure Storm is the predecessor to the Pure Strikes, and I can kind of see that when I picked the frame up. It kind of had that Pure Strike feel, and the Aero Pro Drive being the predecessor to the Pure Aero. So we're going to take these out. We're going to give these Babolats. I know they're older models. They're not the latest thing. I'm sure the newer ones hit better or have more comfort or better spin. Of course they do. They're newer. But I'm not, unless you guys want to start just sending me money to buy rackets. I'm okay with that. But until that day comes, I'm going to pick up what I can pick up at a bargain. And these rackets were all a bargain for me. So we're going to get out. We're going to hit them on camera. We're going to see how it goes. It's nice out today. It's sunny. It's a little cold. You see I got the jacket on. It's Ohio weather, and winter's coming. Yeah, it's going to be here soon, which will kill the outdoor filming for me. So we're going to try to get some last few episodes in before it turns really bad here. But we're going to get one today. We're going to hit these Babolats, and we're going to let you know what we think. Let's get to the courts. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to give these Babolats another chance. We're going to start off with the Babolat Pure Strike. It is a 2016 model. I've hit this before when I did like a Babolat comparison video with my other 98s. Similar to last time when I hit it, starts off really well. I actually was kind of surprised the first time I hit it at how well it felt, and it feels similar today. It's solid. I could hit one-handed, two-handed backhands well. Once I got forehands dialed in a little bit, it was pretty good. I was getting good spin out of it, good pace. Not extremely comfortable.
Again, this is a, you know, a 6-year-old racket. I mean, they've had 2 or 3 generations that have come out since then. I'm sure play better, but feels kind of stiff. It's not very, yeah, it's not very forgiving in terms of flexibility. It doesn't really flex a lot, it feels like, but it hits solid. I've got it strung with Tier 1's Firewire, and I was getting some good response out of it today. But again, not overly impressive. I'm sure if I was hitting a new one, it would probably be a better impression. That was a nice slice forehand. I hit some, like I said, I hit some nice balls with this. I got some decent spin. I got good power and pace out of it. But again, the comfort's not quite there with this frame. The newer one probably is more comfortable. Right into the tape. There we go. But yeah, I enjoyed this frame as just as a steady hit. Again, not impressive enough for me to consider buying a new one, or for me to consider putting this in my bag and playing it. I just don't feel it has the comfort I need. But I did get a fair amount of pretty good shots with it. Each of these frames were hitting somewhere in the park of about 40 tennis balls before we switch out. A little two-handed action. Ugh, that was ugly. Everything, again, it's coming down to my footwork, guys. My footwork and my timing, especially on my forehand side. Backhand sides come along, I mean, fairly well, hitting two-handed, hitting one-hand, hitting slice. But forehands, I still struggle to kind of dial things in. Trying to get a switch out here. Okay, so next up is the Pure Storm, which is the predecessor to the Pure Strike. I did not know what to expect with this frame. It's heavier than the Pure Strike. It is a tour version, so it's coming in you know, the mid to high 330 gram range. Not sure what it's strung with. I'm playing it as is. Not a bad start. I can see how it's the predecessor to the Pure Strike. It does have a very similar feel. How it strikes the ball, how it carries through the air. It's very similar to the Pure Strike in those respects. But the Pure Strike is most definitely an upgrade. I felt a lot more vibration with this frame by comparison. It did not have great comfort at all. The Pure Strike's comfort was just kind of okay. It wasn't that impressive to me. But the Pure Storm is a step down from that. So, you know, like, the similarities are there. They are obviously, you know, related in some way in how they're designed. But the Pure Strike is a definite improvement over the Pure Storm, at least in my opinion. I hit some nice shots with this. I mean, I got some nice balls. Probably not as many as I did with the Pure Strike. But, you know, the Pure Storm is a much older frame. It's a much older generation in the line of Babolat rackets. Something I saw and I was able to pick up at a fair price. I mean, I think I paid like $60 for it. It's not too bad a condition. Don't know what it's strung with, you know. I didn't restring it. Ooh, that was ugly. That's that footwork issue I'm talking about. Didn't restring it, didn't regrip it. Just kind of took it and let's go. So, but I still hit some very nice balls with it. I mean, just not as many as I did with the Pure Strike. We're going to finish out hitting some balls here with the Storm, and then we have one more left. We're going to pull out the Aero Pro Drive from 2000. I think it's 2007. It does have the Cortex dampening system in the pallet, at the top of the pallet on the grip, which I know did not come until a few years after the first generation. So maybe second or third generation of the Aero Pro Drive that they introduced that. Okay guys, third up on our list of Babolat is finally here. We are hitting the Aero Pro Drive. Like I said, I think this is a 2007. Whoever had this racket weighted the crap out of it. I stripped probably about 6 grams of lead off the hoop when I got it, and it's still coming in at over 330 grams. The frame is spec'd at 300 grams, so even if it's off by 7 grams with the strings maxing weight, it's still only going to come in at 324, and that's if it's 7 grams heavy. It's in the 330 range. I could not find where they put the weight. I regripped it, needed a new grip. I'm thinking the weight is definitely in the butt cap, down in the handle, but I think it might be silicone, because I didn't see anything in there except it looked kind of filled in, and there was some gauze, tiny bits of gauze right under the butt cap. So I think they siliconed the handle to beef the weight up, which is fine for me. I like it in that 330 range anyway. It was just crazy to pick it up knowing it's supposed to be extremely light by comparison to what I normally hit, and it's not. It's extremely heavy in the handle. I'd have to say that out of the 3 that I hit today, this was the winner. Hit beautifully. The amount of spin I was able to generate with this racket was kind of ridiculous. I mean, even on mishit balls, they would find their way back into the court. They would dip. I've got it strung with a Strike Force Rip from Tier 1. It's definitely the winner today. Spin generation with this frame was very impressive. I don't think I have any other frames that I've hit that are generating spin like this. I was very impressed. Now, I don't know if it's enough that I would want a pure Aero. I don't. Again, this model is probably about 15 years old, so I'm not feeling the comfort that I'm accustomed to, that I get from several of my other frames. So I would probably want to try a pure Aero before I would consider buying one. But the spin potential from the frame is excellent. It is really nice. Didn't feel to have the same kind of drive plow that the Pure Strike had in terms of trying to power through. Seemed like it didn't have that kind of plow through. But I'm figuring that's probably the trade-off here, is you're probably losing plow through in exchange for the spin. And the spin is good. So overall, out of the 3, this would be probably my favorite that I hit. Not good enough to put in my bag, but not a bad hit at all. I mean, so in some respects, maybe I prematurely misjudged Babolat as a brand based on negative experiences with the Pure Drive. And some of that maybe I shouldn't have tried a Pure Drive. Maybe the Pure Aero was more my speed. Maybe I should have went with that first. maybe then my opinions on Babolat products would be different. Again, they still have a long ways to go in terms of their quality control. It's horrendous. But as a frame overall, as a company overall, they are solid rackets. I mean, you know, my opinion of them is improved. We can say that at least. But that's all I got for today, guys. I'm going to try to squeeze in some more videos before the weather turns bad. I've got some UTR stuff this weekend. Hopefully we'll get some footage of that, or at least I'll be back to give you the results. But that's all for today, guys. Get out there and hit while you still can. May all your returns be for winners. And we will now be returning you to your regularly scheduled programming.